Have you ever seen one of those diet plans that promises you'll lose a crazy amount of weight in just 1 week and thought, is that for real? Can that actually work? Well, today we're diving deep into one of them, the 700-calorie diet. We're going to break down exactly why it's so popular and, more importantly, figure out what really works for sustainable fat loss, not just temporary weight loss.
So, right out of the gate, the plan makes this huge claim: lose 7 kilograms in just 7 days. I mean, that's a kilogram a day. It sounds incredible, right? But it also makes you ask a pretty big question. Is this some kind of genius shortcut? Or is it a dangerous myth that could actually hurt your progress in the long run? Let's find out.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the promise itself. Then, we'll see what an actual 700-calorie day looks like on this plan. After that, we'll run a much-needed logic check. Then, we'll talk about a smarter, sustainable solution, and we'll wrap up with the one question you should always ask yourself before starting any diet.
All right, first up, what is this diet actually promising people? Let's get right into the claims. So the whole thing is built on this really simple idea: a massive claim followed by a super strict method. It's sold as this quick fix, but here's the part that really catches my eye: the promise of sustainable results. I mean, is it really possible to maintain anything from a diet this extreme for just 7 days? That's what we need to look at.
So, what does eating only 700 calories in a single day even look like? Let's break down a typical day on this meal plan. Okay, as you can see, the day is broken up into these small, frequent meals. There's a big focus on vegetables and fluids, with a little bit of protein from things like eggs or paneer. But the most important part here is what's missing. Notice there's no roti, no rice. Major carb sources are completely cut out to keep the calories down to that incredibly low 700-calorie limit. So we've seen the promise, and we've seen the plan. Now comes the most critical part, the logic check. Does this approach actually make sense for long-term, sustainable fat loss? You know, the first thing that just jumps right off the page is this number, 700. For pretty much any adult, 700 calories a day is what's known as an extremely low-calorie diet. It's far, far below what your body needs just to function properly, let alone feel energized and good. And get this, the plan itself actually comes with a warning label. It openly admits to risks like fatigue, nutrient deficiencies, and dizziness. That right there is a huge red flag. It brings up the most important question of all. When you lose weight this fast, what are you actually losing? Is it really fat? And this right here brings us to the fundamental difference between weight loss and fat loss. They are not the same thing. Extreme diets cause you to lose a ton of water weight, and even worse, your precious muscle. That's what causes the fatigue and leads to that dreaded yo-yo effect, where you gain it all back and sometimes more. Sustainable fat loss, on the other hand, is all about preserving muscle, keeping your energy levels stable, and building habits that actually last a lifetime. So if a crush diet isn't the right answer, what is? Let's walk through a much smarter, more logical way to get real, lasting results without all the risks. A smarter approach really comes down to 3 core ideas. First, you create a moderate calorie deficit, one that you can actually stick to without feeling like you're starving. Second, you have to prioritize protein. This is so important for protecting your muscle while you lose fat. And third, you build a balanced plate. That means getting your protein, healthy carbs for energy, and good fats to keep you full. It's all about working with your body, not fighting against it. This logical approach also helps us bust some of those myths that are everywhere. No, you do not have to cut out all carbs to lose fat. No, just eating healthy food isn't enough if you're not managing your portions. And please, no, there are no magic teas or pills that will melt fat away. The only thing that works, consistently and safely, is a sustainable calorie deficit. Okay, so after breaking all of that down, from the big flashy promise to the actual logical solution, what's the single most important thing to take away from all this? Well, it all really boils down to one powerful idea. The real goal isn't just to follow a plan that someone else made up. It's to actually understand why you're doing what you're doing. The true power comes from learning to ask yourself the right question. So before you start any diet, just ask this: is this sustainable for me? Is this safe for my body? And is this going to build the healthy, long-term habits I actually want? Answering that is the real key to finally getting the lasting results you absolutely deserve.